International Men's Day is fast approaching. The Department of Gender Affairs officially launches its week of activities today. Here to speak about this is Gender Officer Mr. Dion Browne. Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Dion, always a pleasure to have you here with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
All right, so we're talking about International Men's Day, the activities that you've planned as a department. What are the objectives of International Men's Day? Activities, rather.
The objective of International Men's Day is really to highlight issues that men and boys face in society, and some persons have the misconception that men don't have any problems, they don't have any issues, and so what else do men want? And we've heard that over and over, that and because of this, men sometimes can be forgotten, be left behind because of this, and we have to realize that gender equality is a men's concern too. It's a men's issue as well. If we empower women and left our men, we will be creating a gap.
Yes.
Because who are these empowered women are going to date, and who are these empowered women going to marry? It's the same men.
Yes.
So we have to strike a balance.
Yes.
And we want to introduce a new term during this International Men's Day. It's called gender balance. We heard about gender equality and gender equity. We've never heard about gender balance, and we want to promote gender balance. And as we go further in the interview, you'll see how all the activities are geared around making sure there's a balance.
So that is the theme you're saying, gender balance?
No, the theme actually for International Men's Day, our local theme, is gender equality, the role of men and boys in building and maintaining positive relationships.
Oh, nice. I like that. So how do the activities that we have planned for Men's Month fit in with this theme?
Okay, so we are here. You have the opportunity to launch the week, or not the week, but the month of activities for International Men's Day. So Good Morning SKN, we gave Good Morning SKN the exclusive to launch the month of activity for International Men's Day. So this is actually the first activity that we have on our calendar. On the 13th, we'll be going to church at the St. Paul's Wesleyan Holiness Church. Okay. And it would also be a community awards for men in that community as well. We are happy to be partnering with that institution, religious institution, to do that. And then on the 18th, we have International Men's Day Award ceremony, and we also dubbing it, Shades of Blue. We want everyone to wear blue on that day. We want to blue the whole country up, right? We do know that blue is not in our national colors, but we do want persons to, stand in solidarity of our men and show our men that they appreciate them, our men and boys, that we appreciate them. And on the 19th is actually International Men's Day. Is celebrated on the 19th. I think Nevis would have their award ceremony on the 19th. And I will be going over there for that award ceremony to give them some support as well. And on the 21st, we actually have a panel discussion in Nevis, the 21st, and it's called balancing. Gender equality balancing, gender balancing. Gender balance, as a lot of persons heard about gender equality, gender equity, we want to focus on gender balance. Balancing the empowerment of women and men.
Okay, good.
Can I say a resounding thank you to the department about that gender balance thing? Because I think you hit the nail on the head, and there have been times when I've looked at it, and I understand that there's this thrust, obviously, for gender equality, and we focus a lot on women, as you rightly said. I'm glad that you've thought of the concept of gender balance, because it's so very important not to leave the young men and boys behind. What can you tell us about the awards ceremony, in particular, the categories?
Okay, I can let you know. I can't really so much.
Okay.
But I can tell you the categories. I can't tell you who the winners are. So,
that's fine. We'll take what we can get.
So in the categories this year, we have creative economy. And we're looking at all creative arts, we're looking at entertainment, we're looking at visual arts, what they call performing arts, you know, so we have that. We have entrepreneurship. We're looking more of small enterprises, small business development.
Nice.
We also are looking at first response. And so how our first responders and so on. We're also looking at sustainable development, but more focusing on the environment and sanitation. And so all those commercial sanitary workers who we call garbage truck workers, garbage truck men, and those who sweep our drain daily and so on. We look at education, and we are specifically in early childhood and primary school, you know, because we realize that sometimes these men in these areas, and we want to promote gender balance. Like I said, the activities are thing, you know, we only have one male in early childhood, so we want to create that gender balance, you know, and promote early childhood as a man thing too. It's not a female thing, it's not a man thing, but it is something that we need to nurture. I've heard the misconception saying that women are more nurturers. I don't have no problem with that, but men can be nurturers too, right? So we want to look at that. We will have the Prime Minister Award, we have a Director's Award, and we have a Legacy Award for the very first time.
Nice.
So those are the categories that we are going with.
So, Dion, we're going to delve into the theme, gender equality, the role of men and boys in building and maintaining positive relationships chosen. Why was this theme chosen? Why?
Well, when the theme was coined, we wanted to focus on how does men and boys, what do men and boys need in their life? And we say that they need positive relationships. And not just to build those positive relationships, but how to maintain those relationships. And we're talking about relationship with our female counterparts, first of all, you know, because a lot of domestic violence happens is because those foundational qualities of a relationship is not built, you know, and gender-based violence happens because of that. And I've always said that all we need is love, respect, and understand and tolerance. Right?
So who needs that? The women need to give the men that, or the men need to learn that from birth?
That needs to be instilled in our men from birth. And it's not a man thing, you know, both women and men.
Exactly. That's why I asked.
Needs to learn that from both. You know, they need to find their true identity and their best self, and learn how to respect each other. We need to learn how to respect each other and love each other, genuinely love each other. And I think that all the issues that we face, you know, it would come down. It would be less issues that we have.
Once we would have developed that understanding amongst selves. Okay.
I love the way that you're talking about it, but it's not necessarily that easy, especially when it comes to cultural changes. Because we know traditionally men have been perceived as, you know, the stronger person in the relationship. I can't say the breadwinner now at all, because that has shifted. And I think with that shift, what you might have is a push and pull dynamic as well, which leads to the conflict. The man might question, well, what is my role? Do you encounter that?
Yes. And you know, I'm hesitating to speak about that because, you know, it can cause some problems. But
with whom? I don't know. This is a very safe space.
But I would say this, you know, over time, women have been saying that men have become less reliable and less dependable, right? And so women had to step up in a man's role, you know, to be the breadwinner. I don't know the exact factor that caused that to happen, but you know, over time, our men have been, you know, not taking up their responsibilities as they should have in terms of helping to rear the children and being the breadwinner of the home.
And I'll tell you so much, and I understand why you were tentative to talk about it, because you say breadwinner. There are some women listening to you right now, I'm sure, who are going, breadwinner, I could do that. What are you talking about? That's offensive to me. And that's the thing. It's like, I get where we're having this conversation in the context of a changing dynamic as to, well, what is masculinity? What does it mean to be a man in the 21st century with all of these other things? And so I guess that lends itself to a discussion of new issues
New issues,
and
yes.
how your department works to help men understand masculinity might not just be defined traditionally. There are different types of things that inform masculinity. We're all unique.
Yes, I agree. And you said something about, men are not supposed to be the stronger, have always been
Traditionally.
Traditionally, yeah.
But it begs the question, what's man's definition of strength?
Yes.
And how does that look?
Yes.
Right? And we can roll into masculinity, what it means to be a man, what is manhood.
Exactly. And when you start doing that, you realize that there's a richness of discussion that has to be had, because is it strictly about, our predisposition to manhood because of our gender? Well, not our gender, but our anatomy.
Yes.
Or is it so much more? And I would
Something
dare say
taught.
it's so much more.
Yeah,
right?
it could be something taught, we raised to man should be tough, strong,
And
not cry, don't cry. And so it could be something that is built in us socially and culturally. Yeah.
Absolutely right. And so when you start talking about focusing on, men and boys, one of the things that I have come to understand about this theme is that it doesn't only mean the men and boys in your family per se, because there are mentors that you can have.
Mentors,
there are boys in lives of men, whether it's at work, at church, in the community.
Yes.
So you can be a positive role model.
For women, but yes, and that's where I was going. For like when I said becoming the team, we talk about the female counterparts that we have, and we want to build and maintain those relationships. We also want to build and maintain relationships among men, friendships, among men, those healthy friendships, that not friendships that would abuse alcohol and drug and take you down the wrong road. Friendship that would help you, encourage you to build a positive, to be among a community and come together to do something positive. We talked about relationship with the men, with the younger boys, being a mentor, being a father, being an uncle. And so those relationships, building those positive relationships and maintaining them as well. We talked about that as well.
Well, in our final moments, Dion, how would you encourage the public to be part of the celebrations for International Men's Day?
Well, I just want to encourage everyone on the 18th to wear blue. Wear something blue, shades of blue, any shade of blue. I see my good friend here, already he wearing blue, and it had started. So on the 18th we're blue. Tune in on the panel discussion on the 21st, Monday 21st. We're going to be discussing balancing the approach. And this International Men's Day, we have a lot of activities. We may have to come back and discuss more.
Yes.